Good day. In this lecture, we will discuss soil fertility and soil productivity, focusing on the factors that influence plant growth. By the end of this lecture, you should be able to differentiate the factors affecting soil fertility. Soil fertility refers to the ability of the soil to supply nutrients in proper balance for plant growth. Soil productivity refers to the capacity of the soil to support plant growth in real conditions, including factors such as climate, farming practices, and pests. So, fertility is chemical, while productivity is broader and system-based. There are several factors that affect soil fertility, which include water infiltration, soil structure, microbial activity, organic matter, mineral content, and soil pH. These determine the nutrient availability and plant growth. Other factors could include water retention capacity of the soil, water draining ability of the soil, nutrient release capability, parent soil characteristics, groundwater, and exploitable depth of the soil. Soil fertility can decrease due to leaching, soil capping, erosion, monocropping, salt accumulation, pH changes, and burning of vegetation. Leaching in this case is the loss of water-soluble plant nutrients in the soil. This is common with nutrients that are highly soluble such as nitrogen. These nutrients are carried to lower areas far beyond the reach of many plant roots. Soil with many leached nutrients are infertile. Next is soil capping. It occurs when the soil is covered with an impervious material which prevents the penetration of the rainwater into the soil, which leads to surface runoff, which also leads to the decrease in the moisture content and increased erosion of the soil. For soil erosion, it occurs when the top fertile soil is carried away by moving water or wind. This leads to loss of the topsoil and plant nutrients. A problem with monocropping is that one type of crop on a piece of land actually degrades the quality of the soil. Crops grown use only the nutrients they need while others remain unused, and this leads to the exhaustion of the nutrients. It also increases the likelihood of buildup of pests and diseases which may lead on from residues of the former crop, and that leads to low yield. Monocropping also leads to decrease in biodiversity. Examples of monocropping is the all year round growing of just wheat, just tobacco, just corn, and just rice without rotating these crops. Accumulation of salts is also a problem with regards to the decrease in the soil fertility. Mineral salts come from the decomposition of a parent rock or decomposition of organic matter. Under normal conditions, salts are washed away by rainwater. However, in arid and semi-arid areas, rainfall is irregular and not enough to remove salts from the soil. This may lead to the deficiency of water in plants as water moves out of the root of the plant and into the soil. That process is governed by osmosis. The change in pH also decreases soil fertility. Inappropriate use of fertilizers may actually change the soil pH. The use of acidic fertilizer over long periods of time can decrease soil pH, which may affect the activity of the soil, particularly the microorganisms and the availability of the nutrients. Another factor that causes a decrease in soil fertility is the burning of vegetation. When vegetation is burned, organic matter is destroyed. This affects the activity of microorganisms such as nitrogen fixation and decomposition of organic matter. Soil is exposed to agents of erosion such as wind and water, and accumulation of the resulting ash also causes imbalance of the nutrients in the soil. In the Philippines, there is called kaingin farming or slash and burn agriculture, and it has been practiced for many decades. For the fertilizer, that would be a chemical or natural substance added to soil to increase its fertility. Chemical fertilizer manufacturers must guarantee the analysis of all fertilizers, including the total nitrogen expressed as percent nitrogen, available phosphorus expressed as percent diphosphorus pentoxide, and soluble potash expressed as percent potassium oxide. There are three main macronutrients present in your fertilizer. We have nitrogen, which promotes leaf growth. We have phosphorus, which enhances development of roots, flowers, seeds, and fruits. And lastly, we have potassium, which supports strong stem growth, movement of water in plants, and promotion of flowering and fruiting. There are also some important secondary macronutrients. Those are your calcium, magnesium, and sulfur. For the micronutrients, these are nutrients that are only beneficial in very small amounts. That includes copper, iron, manganese, molybdenum, zinc, and boron. There are also some elements that are occasionally significant, such as in the case of your silicon, cobalt, and vanadium. There are two types of chemical fertilizers. First, we have the quick-release fertilizers made from water-soluble compounds derived from synthetic nutrients. And we also have your slow-release fertilizer made from natural materials, and they release nutrients at a slower rate based on moisture and temperature. Organic fertilizers in this case are derived from natural sources, while chemical fertilizers are synthetically produced. Each has their own advantages and limitations. In terms of the slow-release fertilizers, they provide long-term nutrient supply, they reduce leaching, and are less likely to damage plants. However, they act more slowly. For quick-release fertilizers, they provide immediate nutrient availability but can lead to leaching and over-fertilization. Some quick-release fertilizers also only lasts for 2 to 4 weeks. And these quick-release fertilizers require careful application. There is also what we call runoff effects. Fertilizers can be washed into water bodies through the process of runoff. This contributes to water pollution and eutrophication. In the figure, pollutants are being leached off to the bodies of water. Excess nutrients in the water can cause algal blooms, oxygen depletion, and ecosystem damage. This links soil management to water quality. In the figure, point source contamination can be traced to specific points of discharge from wastewater treatment plants and factories or from combined sewers. Air pollution spreads across the landscape and is often overlooked as a major non-point source of pollution. Airborne nutrients and pesticides can be transported far from their area of origin. Lastly, eroded soil and sediment can transport considerable amounts of some nutrients such as organic nitrogen and phosphorus and some pesticides such as DDT to river and streams. That concludes the lecture on soil fertility and productivity, focus on how soil chemistry, management practices, and environmental factors interact to influence plant growth.